Hello guys, welcome back to the Circle of Life with Tess podcast, and I am your host Atiba Teslim. On today's episode, we're going to be discussing what it means to be unmasked, that is the liberation of authenticity. What I'm trying to say is, in a world where masks are worn to conceal our true identity, being unmasked itself is a revolutionary act. It is a declaration of authenticity, a rejection of societal expectation, and an embracement of who you are, your raw and unfiltered self. But what most people don't know is that what does it mean to be unmasked, and why is this so liberating? Meaning to be unmasked is what? Trying to stop pretending to be what you are not. Just you being your true self, letting people know this is what I am and this is what I can actually do. So the main question is, what type of masks do we wear? Literally from a young age, we are taught by our parents, by our society, by people we talk to, that we are to wear masks to hide our true feelings, true thoughts, and true desires. For example, our parents takes us out to their friend's place, and when you're going there, they tell you, when you get there, don't do this, don't do that, do this and do that instead. So in one word, they are literally telling you to put on a mask to hide your true self and show them what you are not. It could be in your office, your boss is taking you out to see a client. He tells you, when you get there, do this and do that, don't do this, don't do that, show them this, show them that. Literally, he is telling you to put on a mask, show them what you are not, so that they can see you for what they want, they can see what they want to see, but not what you really want to show them. We are told to conform to societal norms. We are told to fit in to what society wants from us. We all wear masks to protect ourselves from judgment, from rejection and vulnerability. We don't want people to reject us. We want to feel it. We want to do what people are doing. We want to be what people are. But these masks, it all comes at a cost. Yes, they suffocate our authenticity, they stifle out our creativity, and it silence your voice. What I'm trying to say is, for example, if you put on this mask for too long, people tend to love what we are than what we are not. What I'm trying to say is, you put on a mask, it's just like you live in a fake life. Then by the time you remove of this mask, people won't see you for what you are. Your original life will look like fake to them, then your fake life will look like the real or original life to them. I hope you get what I'm saying now. Most people don't know it. Okay, now you know the type of marks you're putting on. Do you know the weight of this marks? Do you know the weight of pretending to be what you are not, or the weight of pretending to be who you are not? Wearing a mask, pretending, living a fake life is exhausting. Literally, it is really, really exhausting. It requires constant effort to maintain the facade, to pretend to be someone you are not. You become trapped in a circle of pretense, living a life that is not yours, and eventually, when people begin to see the real you, they won't want to accept you. Then by that time, they are in love with your fake life. Then you have nothing else but to keep on going, or to keep on living as fake, whereas you want to be real, you want to be original. The weight of this mask, it crushes our spirit, it erodes our self-esteem, and disconnects you from who you truly are. And if okay, starting from now, I want to be unmasked. Okay, I don't want to do this anymore. You need to know what the liberation of being unmasked. The question is, what happens when we remove this mask? What happens when we shed the pretense and reveal our true face? We are all met with a sense of liberation, of freedom, of empowerment. You are no longer bound by what society's expectation. Instead, you are free to yourself, without apology or without pretense. That is, you can now be what you want to be. You don't need to you don't need to be perfect so people can accept you for what you are. What I'm trying to say is, you need to understand the power of being authentic. Being authentic is the antidote, to being unmasked. It is the courage to be yourself without fear or rejection. Because when you are authentic, you are not vulnerable to letting societal expectation catch you, therefore saying, let me live a fake life. You just need to be who you are and who you truly want to be. So you don't need to let what people say or what people want you to be to overcome you. They cannot say you want to put on a mask, but because you are raw, you are real, you are no longer hiding behind a facade, but you are living a life that is true to who you are. That is a massive beauty of imperfection. Because being unmasked, it also means what? You are embracing your imperfection, being real, being true, being original. I know I cannot do this, but I want to do it. Then therefore, I will train myself to be what I know I can't be. Then when I train myself, eventually I will become what I can be. Rather than what? Living like what you can be. Instead, train yourself, develop yourself to be that thing rather than living a fake life. Because celebrating your flaws, celebrating your mistakes, that way you tend to know what you're doing wrong and you tend to know what to correct. When you recognize that your imperfection is beauty, that's what makes you unique, and it's what it makes you human. In other words, it is the freedom of self-expression. Because when you are unmasked, you are free to express yourself without anybody disturbing you, without any restraint. You are no longer bound by conformity, by people around you, but you are living a life that is true to your own reading, true to your own beats, because you are dancing to the music of your soul. You are no longer dancing to the music of other people without apology or without pretension. Another word is vulnerability. You need to be vulnerable. Vulnerability is the key to being unmasked. It is the willingness to be open, to be honest, and to be real. Because when you are vulnerable, you are no longer hiding behind the mask, but you are living a life that is true to who you are. You are no longer afraid of rejection, but instead, I am embracing the beauty of connection. You are embracing the beauty of who you are and the beauty of what you are. When I say beauty of connection, what I mean means you are forming a deep, meaningful connection with others. You are no longer isolated behind your map. Because most people don't know is when you are living a fake life, there are some places you will go to that you won't want to do what you know you can do, because the fake life you are living, the marks you are putting on, you don't have to. Without marks, you can't do that. People will see you as cheap. But when you are original, you should be able to do what you can do rather than pretending to do what you can do. Because the moment you recognize that you are not alone, you are part of a larger community. Being unmasked is a revolutionary act, a declaration of what I will be, what I can be, and I will be who I can be, and I will train myself to be whatever I want to be. So it must be a freedom to be free from these marks that people force you to put on. So without further ado, let us remove these marks. Let's reveal our true selves to people around us so they can appreciate us for what we truly are. And let's be unmasked and live a life that is true with what we are and true to who we are. And also, most people don't know that the moment you remove these marks off your face, it improves your mental health and it increases your confidence. Because the moment you break free from the pressure that is confirming you to be what you can be, your brain is free. You don't have to be thinking about what you don't need to think about. And also, your confidence is increased. Your confidence is boosted because you are no longer hiding behind the marks. You can now take pride in your uniqueness and you create and you celebrate your differences. So guys, with whatever you are doing, just remember that you need to remove these marks and be true to who you actually are, so you can open more ways to joy, happiness, creativity, and what being authentic. Thanks so much for listening to the Circle of Life with Tess podcast. I am your host, Atiba Teslin. I'm going to be coming back with more interesting episode. But if you have a thing or two to say about this podcast, just click on the comment section. What do you think about this episode box down there? Tell me what you think about this episode. And also don't forget, You can follow me on all social media platforms at atibateslim4 on Instagram, atibateslim45_ on Twitter, and atibateslim and Bayomi on Facebook. See you next time, guys. Bye.